Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our last live broadcast for the day. And oops, that's not the page I wanted to look at. Okay. Now, we have our fourth session of boot camp tonight. And what I want to do is I want to pop over here because during this session, we're going to be talking about sales. We're going to be talking about how to close more sales in less time. And the way you do that is simple. You talk to the right people right from the get-go. Close more sales by talking to the right people. How do we do that? We qualify people. We only want to talk to qualified prospects, people that we know almost in advance need what we have, want what we have. And I'm going to move this out of the way here. Pop that over there. Okay. And the whole idea, it's all about communication. Communication is the key. As you're talking to people, you know enough about people right from the get-go by looking at their profile. The profile and their activity tell you who the best people are. And so if you want to close more of your prospects, we want to talk to 5 to 20 qualified prospects every day. And just remember, you can't fit a square peg into a round hole. So we need to be qualifying people, whether you want to talk to a customer or a potential business builder. It's all coming down to questions. And then when you get a decent prospect, use your company tools to show the business. That becomes duplicatable. And when you do, you can close someone almost every day. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump over to LinkedIn and Facebook, and I'm going to show you just how easy it can be to identify the people you want to talk to, move the conversation along, and then show them why you have the solution to their problem. And it can be so much fun. It can actually be addicting. I kid you not. I kid you not. So I'm going to flip over here, come back over here now. And we're going to pop up here, jump into LinkedIn. And let me see who's here. I was doing a session earlier today with Richard, and he's not back, so I'm not going to come back into his account. So let me look here. And yes, this boot camp does have the 5th session. It'll be on Thursday, and then on Friday, we're jumping into the retreat. All right. So now, do you mean to tell me that the only person here, and most of you in boot camp, are you telling me that the only one that has conversations that they want me to review is James? Are you kidding me? That's it. Okay. Now, before I jump into James' account, I want to look at, I'm going to jump into Richard for just a minute. Not to look at conversations, but to come up here and do a search for people that are looking for an opportunity in sales. Okay. And when we do the search, we come up with 392,000. And when we bring up the profile to actually see who they are, one of the things that it includes is activity. So we know how active they are. Now I'm going to log out of Richard's account. And we're going to jump into James. So let's go into the conversation area. And so let's take a look at Nicole. Let me kind of slide this over there. All right, now what we talk about is the answers that you get to a question contain the seeds to your next question. Now, so you asked her about her experience with New Skin, Herbalife, Avon, and Mary Kay. Now we go to Hawaii. And so she says over here, you know, I was considering referring to your previous message about Mary Kay, Avon, but the amount of cold messaging I received from people who do sell those products was a huge turnoff. Okay. And I didn't see where you addressed that. You missed. She's telling you up here, I was considering it, but cold messages I received from people who sell these products was a turnoff. And my friends shop at Ulta. And again, she's saying, I don't know one person that shops from Mary Kay or Avon thinking in the traditional way that she has to go after the people that she knows. I said this job, it's because it's under the table. Now, what we got to do here well, this whole piece right here. Which is really where you needed to focus on. You missed. All right, now. So she accepted a job, it's under the table. So she's not going to lose her food stamps and health insurance. And I also plow for the state. Wow. Okay, so this woman really has it rough. Okay, so this was yesterday. Now she saw it, but she's not answering you. And the reason that she's not answering is because you're not talking to her about anything she wants to talk about. So how do we get the conversation started up again? Okay. First, and you're going to love this, I'm going to pop over here. And we're going to use, I think we're going to use this one. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So today is International Day for Tolerance. A friend, whoops, just told me that today is a holiday. International Day for Tolerance. Who knew? I had no idea. It was such a holiday. Now, we got Thanksgiving coming up next week. So this was on November the 8th. Days ago, you described eight days ago, you described your employment situation. I missed a big part of your message. So my last see, now let me just point something out here, okay? You put her name in here. I didn't realize how tough, how difficult how first I need to address. Okay. I know how you feel about those. Come back up here. Messages. All right, now. We're going to use her words. Now, see, we got to come back. We got to replace this. Okay. Now, use her words. She says up here. See, none of this here. is relevant to what she said up here. None of it. She's telling you, she was considering it, but I received messages, they're spamming me with this stuff. Amway was big when I was younger, but I don't know people that do it. The acceptancy job is, it's under the table. So I won't lose my food stamps and health insurance. We got to address that. You have to show her why food. So I won't lose my food stamps and health insurance. What are you kidding me? Honey, you don't need, I mean, you can make enough money working with me in my business for food stamps. You're holding on to your health insurance, so you're working under the table. No, how about making enough money so that you don't need food stamps? You could buy whatever you want, and you could afford your own health insurance. Now, at some point in time, though, you have to look at and recognize who you're talking to, okay? She has to want to lift herself up, okay? Now, as badly as I'm reading the rest of this, man, she's going to have to change a lot of stuff. And the only way that she's even going to look at your business is you have to show her how she can literally eliminate all of this. And this is where your project launch script would come in. But before you use it, you've got to clarify all of these elements, all of these points, or it's going to fall on deaf ears. Now, she told you that social media where was it? The bottom. Is addicting. All right. She doesn't relate to this. Not only is social media addicting, the easiest way to build a business enough money so you Now, we got to get her attention. So we're going to use the project launch script. Now, I'm about to launch a special project. And let's see. SR for senior, D in 90. Help 3 people. Now, people have made 40 or 50. And let's just look. Former store manager. $11 years. Well, but she was working in the retail, in the pizza business. You have the and let's look it out. Let's look what else. You have the management experience. Now, what do we want to do? All we want to do is get her to say yes. Now, the only problem with this, is what you put up here. None of this. How much money do you have to make in order to not be dependent on them? And what would happen if you had a 1099 job? If you had a 1099 job, she couldn't get food stamps. If she had a 1099 job, she'd probably lose her health insurance. She'd lose it. Now, we're going to pop up here on the internet. In order things to change, you must change. And we're going to come up here to images. Now, we really want to keep it short. So we're waiting for this to clarify. It's still foggy. And I think I'm going to go with this one, nice and clear. Now, previously, when you wrote to her, she wrote back. You have to study. Now, we found out what she knows about network marketing, and her misconception is bad. But the other thing, okay, okay, let me unmute James for a minute. You there?
Yeah.
You know, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back with you. Take a little extra time.
Yeah.
Okay. You see what here's what happens. We're all thinking in terms of moving the conversation in the direction that we want to take it. Okay. And you've got your strips and you've got your strategies and But, and up to here, okay? So this wasn't bad. This gave you an opportunity to ask her about network marketing. And the answer that you got, I mean, up to here, it was, so we already did this once. She's unemployed. Now, Nick, I'm just finishing up a session. I'm gonna call you right back. My your ears must have been ringing.
Okay, Max.
I'll call you back.
All right.
You know, ever since I started to do these live broadcasts, I'm hearing from old friends. And you know what's interesting is if you go and look, for those of you that have a Facebook page, let me just show you something. Maybe you knew this, maybe you didn't. But for those of you that have a Facebook page, go over and take a look at your friends, your list of friends. Now, the way the list pops up shows you the people. Now, I did a broadcast on Friday with George, okay? And these are all the people that looked at my Facebook page recently. Okay. Now, what I thought was interesting was I did this thing with George, who used to be in Isogenics, and I got Kathy Coover over here, who's a good friend too, who, you know, founded Isogenics, and she's looking at, she looked at my page too. So a lot of people saw the broadcast, the live broadcast that we did. And one of the things that we want to do is show all of you how you can broadcast. This is what we're doing right now. This is live. And literally, you can develop a following of thousands and thousands of people, and it's easy to do. And this is the one I did this morning. All right. It's weird, right? I mean, but the bottom line is, again, you can go over and just look at the people, look at your friends, and you can see the people that looked there recently. On LinkedIn, you got the same situation. Okay. On LinkedIn, you scroll down on, bring your profile up. And you're going to see the people that looked at your profile. Now, all of these people are first level connections. Looked at your profile, probably before they accepted you. If we go over here, let's see. Okay. So you sent him the first message, you sent him the second message, and he hasn't responded. He's looked at your profile. People are going to look at your profile. So she looked at your profile. She's on your first level. All kinds of ways to start conversations. You're never gonna run out of people to talk to. In this situation, you have to ask yourself, now that you know all about her, if it was going to cost $500 to get into your business, she would not be a candidate. She doesn't have it. She doesn't have it. So her daughter is going to be 3 the day before Christmas. Double the gifts for holiday gift assistance. Okay. I mean, this woman is, here's the wonderful thing. You help a woman like this achieve success in your business, you've changed a life. You've changed a life. And what she's told you about herself all right. So now look at how you go back to her. Considering who she is and the circumstance that she's in. Move this thing along. Moving forward, we're going to be able to turn this around. The question is, we've got to get back to where she answers you right away. Okay. Now, it may take, remember, we're a week away from Thanksgiving. So while this isn't a bad question, I mean, the amount of money that she would have to make so that she wouldn't have to depend on food stamps. Let's just come back up here for just a minute. Okay, so I won't lose my food stamps and health insurance. How long have you been getting food stamps? How long has this situation been going on? You look at her profile, she works at pizza places. Again, we're going to come back and ask the question, compare her to Joel. Compare her to Joel. You can't help everybody. You can't. There's some people, as much as you'd like to help them, you can't help everybody. You're building a team. You're building a team. And so my personal feeling about this, I'd let her go. I'd let her go. Now, and I wouldn't feel bad about this part here. All right. But I'd let her go. I'd be talking to Joel, other Joels. Okay. I'd be talking to people, other people. You're not on an island. Okay. Yeah. You're not on an island. So this is kind of a lesson about you learn enough about a person. I want to share a story. I'm going to pop over here and I'm going to go to my messenger here. And I'm going to bring up, no, he didn't like Facebook. Howard Steger. And I'm going to look him up on LinkedIn because I think the conversation that I had with Howard was over there. So we're going to come over to the messages. All right, so I guess it's all over on Facebook. All right, now Howard was on disability. He was a CPA. He was rear-ended by a drunk driver. The vertebrae in his neck were fused. He could not turn his neck. He couldn't drive a car. And he was on disability. And a friend of his, one of my students, gave him products that helped with a physical problem he was having, and it helped him, it cured him. So he decided he wanted to build a networking business around those products. And she gave him all of my books, all of my, everything she had. And in 2010, he went into a boot camp. He never liked Facebook. He was actually building the business on LinkedIn. And I can't remember the other social network. But in any event, his company was expanding around the world. And every time his company would open up a different country, and MySpace, he was on MySpace and LinkedIn. Every time he'd open up another country, he would create a profile, search for people in that country. And he was connecting with pastors, ministers, real estate people, insurance people, and network marketers in those countries. Started in our boot camp, I think it was in February or March of 2010. By November, he was getting a 5-figure check every month. 5 figures. January of 2011, he got his first 6-figure monthly check. So he sent me this on February the 13th. I now have a net worth of $2.5 million, 0 debt, and 3 credit cards with credit limits of 16 to 20 grand. Thank you for making my dreams come true. That includes my son and daughter-in-law. And what happened was he sent me a message. He says, Max, this 1 or 2 hours a day stuff isn't working for me. Well, so there's a lesson to be learned here, okay? The lesson is select the best people. Now, we come back over here to LinkedIn. And in your situation, we come up here and we do a search. Show me all the people who are, well, actually, instead of looking for an opportunity, show me all the people in sales on LinkedIn. So you have 49,900,000. Now notice people are starting to put this follow me button up. So let's look at the next guy down. Now he's got the gold LinkedIn icon. All right, now, oh, wait a minute. I'm in my account, so I can see activity. Let me jump back into your account. Come up here and do a search for sales. So we got the same number. So we're all working, we're all fishing in the same pool. But notice your search results are different than mine. Why? Because you're in Texas and I'm in Florida. So let's kind of scroll down. And let's look at somebody that's giving us a lot of information. Let's take a look at this person here. Open up the profile. All right, now, so you've got activity. You're complaining yesterday, activity wasn't coming up. Let's look at another one. You got activity. All right. So what did we learn from this? What we learned was for a couple of days, you weren't seeing activity. Now you are. LinkedIn is constantly making changes. And I'm glad to see you got it back. Now tonight, we have our 4th session of boot camp, which is all about conversation. Let me come back over here. I'm going to come back in my account again. Oops. Now, I'm going to come up here and let's go back to our message area. And I'm going to look for Joanne. All right, now. You look at Joanne. She has turned this whole process into such a, she's doing it so well that she not only did it for her business, her networking business, she also started to apply it to her insurance business. Okay. So she's created a whole new company, as well as her networking business. And if we go and we look at this is in September, recruited 3 people last month without even trying. And how's she doing this? The company sent her a check for $5,000 because they noticed that she's using this same process that you're in the process of learning. You're all learning this. It's a dance. So how is it that people like Joanne are having these great success stories, and some of you are, you're still in a different phase? You're learning to dance. You're getting better at choosing people. You're getting better at selecting people. You're going to get better at determining who you want to continue to talk to and who you want to avoid. You got to, that's the biggest thing. Now, everybody has a little bit of a unique element to teaching. I'm going to tell you what Joanne does. She talks about it up here. When she's talking to somebody and she feels like the person's really a good prospect, she helps them tweak their page. The woman I enrolled last week has enrolled 2. One that will enroll tomorrow. This is the other part of this. It's duplication. You bring people into the business. And she's been in Maluka for 9 years. And it wasn't until she started working with me that things changed for her. Three people in 12 hours. Now, how does that happen? It happens because she's connected to a lot of people. You all, if you go in and look at the numbers of people that you've connected with that you've never talked to, this year, she's going to close out the year the best she's ever done. All of you are heading down the same exact road. Same road. All right. So tonight we're doing a session on closing. And for those of you that are students, I want you to have ready the best conversation that you've had with a prospect that is either ready to be shown the business, or have a conversation where you showed the person your business and nothing happened. One conversation. because tonight we're going to spend more time looking at your conversations. Moving forward, in our upcoming boot camps, in our upcoming trainings, period, what we're going to be doing oh, did that work? Oh, I guess not. Anyway, it all comes back to conversation. What I wanted to, for those of you that are not registered for our, what is going on here? For those of you that have not registered yet for our top earner retreat, I'm going to put this in the chat. We put a video up. We're in the process of moving everything over to a new platform. I've got a whole new series of trainings that is going to designed to speed up the process for all of you. But I could only put it in front of you. It's up to you to pay attention to what the people are saying when you talk to them. Every one of you is heading down a road that will ultimately bring you to the success that you desire. And it looks like my success story of the year so far is going to be Francisco. All right. Now, Francisco had 200 people in his business last November. In June, he had 2,000 people, 16 experienced network marketers. We move into September. His 2,000 people are up to 6,000. And he's got 20 experienced network marketers that he's working with. He got sick. So his number in November, he went from 6,000 in September. He's up to 7,500 in November. And he also lost 2 whales that took a group of people with him. It happens. The bottom line is every one of you is heading down the same road. There are people out there waiting to talk to you. They're eager to talk to you. They're anxious to talk to you. And how you talk to them is going to determine whether or not they're candidates for your business and whether or not they even get in your business. I'll be back tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, we've got a special broadcast. And for those of you that are leaders, we're going to show you how you can broadcast simultaneously on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So until next time, best of luck in building your business, folks. God bless. And remember this. There's nothing to stop you from being successful in your business? Absolutely nothing. You're sitting on a gold mine. Somebody asked me the other day, is it really prospecting if you know where the gold is? And the answer is no, it's not prospecting. It's you have the ability. It's like reaching into a bowl of candy and pulling out a green M&M or a yellow M&M. The yellow M&Ms represent unhappy network marketers. We're all learning. Okay, the social media world changes every day. And you're only as good as your ability to take advantage of the latest tools that these social networks have available. And there's nobody out there that is in this as often as I am. There's no one out there that knows this better than me. And folks, I don't have to do, the thing is, I don't have to do this. I do this because I love it. My wife thinks I'm obsessed with it. And to a certain extent I am. Because if I can help James go to the top of this company, if I can help any of you move up the ranks and achieve whatever level of success you're looking for, I mean, come on, what else do I got? What else do I have to do? Okay. I mean, I don't play golf. So until next time, best of luck in building your business. And I just want to assure you that we're here to help you. And what I'm teaching you works and it duplicates and you're learning a dance. It's 4 steps. Put it to music, get out on the dance floor, start talking to people, and you will all get it. You didn't quit trying when you were born. You wanted to learn how to walk. You got through that. You wanted to learn, some of you learned how to drive a car really, really quickly, and others took a little longer. It doesn't matter. We'll talk to you next time.